back. Forgot how chill this music is. I think I still prefer the Night Charlian theme, but it's pretty good. Cozy vibes. Gonna head to the North Horn for now. I wanted to just kind of access it, go through the motions right now, and just kind of unlock a few things and then see how far I get. Could always off-screen grind. It's a little bit more laid back. We're going in Paladin because, God, you need a tank sustain when you're solo. Even as a group, sometimes the healer just dies and it's like, well, guess I'm playing solo anyways. Ordered a new mouse, so just a few more days and I don't have to be jank gaming. I don't know which one of the new classes is busted, but I think one of these moves gives me an attack boost, so I'll just level that for now. What's this looking like? I'm not a big fan of the here's some horns, or here's like an appendage outfits. How do I pin this? Oh, here it is. I've been like very, oh god. It's someone's look, it's not my look. Oh my god. I am very much not about this. Yeah, like I'm not, maybe the boots could be used for something, but the rest, like maybe the I don't like this. Yeah, maybe the boots could be used for something glamour wise, but the rest I'm not about. 780 gives me, should probably farm these eventually. Hemmed in by imposing peaks on all sides, this region appears to be isolated from the rest of the island. What would you see in these strange lands? Much to discuss. So the main issue I'm having with my mouse is the left click doesn't like to hold. So when I'm trying to turn the camera, I can't. Which is like really annoying when you're trying to do a mechanic and like reorient yourself. Our goals here are twofold. Uncover the truth of the occult crescent and ensure the crew makes it home in one piece. Now I reckon finding the Owl's architect is key to Arkai achieving both. Given that he's probably holed up in the Tower of Magic, finding a way in should be our first order of business. According to our scouts, the fiends in this part of the island are a damn sight tougher than the beasties we've encountered so far. If you find yourself struggling, you'd best head back to the South One for a spot of training. I should also mention that the surveyors have turned up some interesting new trinkets. Speak with the crew if that tickles your fancy. Trying to tickle my fancy, getting ram? I don't swing that way. Oh, and don't forget to attune with the camp seats right while you're here. I would have forgotten that though. My friend, I wish to have a quick word with you. Let me know once you've completed your preparations. Good, give me a second because I would have fucking forgotten to attune. This conversation went on too long. My passage to South Horn. Blah blah blah. Okay. That would be a little further away. Yeah, I'm more used to Paladin. From like from the tanks I'm used to the ones I don't really play are the Paladin, Warrior, Gunbreaker, and Dark Knight. I don't know anything about Dark Knight. I'm sure it's fun, but I don't know. It doesn't hit for me. I'm not trying to be angry. I'm not trying to be edgy. I'm trying to be a good boy. I was hoping we could discuss the soul shards. You know, those crystalline records of martial methods conceived by the 12 city-states of Eld. As you no doubt recall, I posited that they would only function upon the owl itself. Was my hypothesis correct? Which what were we talking about? Soul shards? Yeah. Part of me had wondered whether you, in particular, might be able to wield the shard's power beyond the ward. Evidently not. In truth, I've also been pondering the reason you were summoned here in the first place. If the voice you heard belongs to the island's architect, then seeking him out in the Tower of Magic ought to provide answers on that front too. In other words, the time has come to venture forth once more. To adventure! Trust you to fix the soul shard to your prison. They won't do a thing languishing in the bottom of your bag. No, I've gotten to the North Horn and got to level 20 without a soul shard. Kenram is rare and raring to explore. Back on the South Horn, the only way into the Fork Tower was by the way of the ethereal node that appeared during those auroral mirages. Assuming a similar node exists on this part of the island, we ought to look for the structure housing it. If my hunch is correct, there'll be a confluence connected to the tower nearby, so keep your eyes peeled. Also, god, that noise is very loud. I will also be taking a look around myself. Get in touch via link roll if you find anything. Supplier, what are you supplying me? Oh, I really do need to do this. 7,000. That's like how much I was left after I bought all the junk from for the relic. But it's like taking it piece by piece. Alright. What are you purchasing for me? Oh, I'm definitely not buying that. What the fuck, man? A one-time use too, I think. Whoa, I am low on dark matter. Armor. $780, so if I had gotten this, it would have probably been worth something, but I just couldn't be asked to do these things. I don't have a group big enough to do that kind of continent, and I don't like exploring by... I don't like dealing with strangers, man. Confluence can examine the survey point. One base camp has been added to the occult. Okay. I know this guy, don't I? Off in game. Name sounds familiar. Alright. Do you have this on the map? That's ways away. Oh fuck, can I make this or am I gonna get like my ass beaten? Oh, that is way too far. That is even further. I should just like ignore that kind of stuff for now and focus on unlocking the map and getting the teleport spots. And ideally I'd want to probably ignore fights, because it'll probably take me like a minute to kill one guy. And he'll give me like no XP. Jump down. Crescent Bibliotaph. I want to get most of the map out. Second. What does this even do? Grants, place the sword dance, step to the tango, blah blah blah. I don't know what any of that means. I like this stuff. I don't like how that's split up. I could take one of these if I accidentally aggro one. Surely. Oh boy, just what I'd like to see in this new area. Demi materia. It's pocket change. Just like it made you spend like 500k. Here's like, I don't know what those sell for. Like 500, I don't know. I think it's probably like 200. And like 5,000 more of those and I could make my money back. Yeah, teleports are important. It's busy work right now, but it'd be annoying to like join a group and they're all teleporting and I'm like doing this. Oh man. These things would fucking obliterate me though. to aggro one. What the fuck is that? I can invuln. All turns things go south, I'll invuln and buy me 6 seconds of immunity before I hit the hay. Can I fall? Probably not. Yeah, that's good for now. Oh, it's turning. I don't know, this area is kinda... deserts don't really enthuse me. While this does appear to be a confluence, the flow of ether is barely perceptible. Regardless of whether this location is actually linked to the Tower of Magic or not, Tenram will wish to hear your findings. Oh, thank God they teleport me. Well, it is definitely a confluence. And this structure is almost identical to the one of the South Horn. I think it's safe to say this is where the Ethereal Node ought to be. But something's not quite right. I'm not sure if arcane trickery is to blame, but this pavilion's completely inert right now. No point in us pondering out here, though. Let's head back to camp and see if we can't chip away at the archive seal some more. Take me with you, don't make me walk. Can just we watch him walk and just let him go all the way while I'm over here. I don't think this has a long... Yeah, it's pretty fast, 5 seconds, doesn't matter. Safe for ditching me. Archive still relies on what you've seen and learned to unlock his knowledge. Let's give it a try, shall we? Kenram tells me you found a confluence by the pavilion. Pray share more details. Judging by your account, I believe the confluence does indeed connect with the Tower of Magic. What was that? Ah, and there goes the familiar sensation of the seal eroding. Any ideas as to why we can't use the ethereal node? Several, but let me first touch upon the Forked Towers themselves. Over 1500 years ago, the island's architect foresaw a calamitous disaster, and thus sought to preserve a facet of all civilizations here on the Occult Crescent. But to do so would mean storing the very knowledge that imperiled the world in a single location. Measures to prevent its misuse would be essential. Hence the ward and all the storms in Shade's Triangle. Precisely, and it is the Forked Towers that form the backbone of this approach. The Tower of Blood to project those deadly storms, and the Tower of Magic to maintain that impenetrable ward. Both undertakings require highly advanced techniques and near constant monitoring, which is why the towers are manned. As I've said before, I believe it's the architect himself who resides in the Tower of Magic. So the towers are both conduits for all that magic and humble abodes for the overseers? Seems like a lot of bother just to keep one tiny island hidden from prying eyes. Tiny islands packed with the world any knowledge, even prying eyes don't deserve to be trapped against their will. Yeah, I don't know, maybe he's trying to prevent the world from being ended. I mean, I do that too, like once a week, but you know what? Who's comparing? Who's keeping track of numbers? So you feel the same way. Either way, the Tower of Magic is the focal point of the ward. All of the Isle's ethereal currents converge upon it. If the confluence you discovered is indeed so greatly diminished, we must assume all is not well with the island's ether. Thus begins our next investigation. Ooh, bubble. Are the largest personal islands as such. They also store the lion's share of knowledge and relics. They're hiding lions from us too. How dare they? Maybe have helped it share the Occult Crescent as we know it, but that is not the whole story. It didn't tell us. This fairy. So the Isle's ethereal currents are in disarray. Come to think of it, the landscape here is completely different to what we saw down south. It feels warped, unnatural even. We ought to investigate what caused those changes. And I suggest we start by surveying multiple confluences. That should give us a clearer picture of what's happening at the ethereal level. I have a mind to accompany you on this excursion. That way I can immediately share what the Seal's undoings reveals at each site. Hold on, let me double read this. No need to pay me any heed, though. In the interest of avoiding my untimely demise at the hands of some foul fiend, I shall follow stealthily at a safe distance. Which means his model is not going to be shown. In that case, I'll stay put. I suggest you concentrate your searches on the ruins in the area and check for any abnormalities. Oh, this is like something I could probably make. Let's see how bad it is if I don't join a group. I mean, I was getting solo golds, but everything's bigger now and stronger. If someone invites me, I'll join, but I'll leave like right after. Right side drivers. Maybe baby. Oh no, I'm fucking baby. Level 20. Look at these guys. I don't know the mechanics either, so it is gonna be very scuffed. Surely it's exactly how it is in the raid. Oh, my mouse is fucking... Oh fuck, it is cooked beyond belief. Be fine here. Do a little bit more. Go over here where everybody's at. I feel like... Okay, it's just making the room. I was right, I shouldn't trust these people. Okay, I'm remembering. Day or two with this shitty ass broken mouse. I could handle it. Here we go. I'll stay over here so I can get a better look. Kind of just look like everything. Kind of looks like we're safe over here, but yeah. Pay more attention. Alright. I mean, I'm not dead. There's something. This is why you play tank, so you can learn these things and not be on the floor. I think I got pretty much everything down except for a Ruby Glow, which I'm kind of confused on. I just don't really know what this branch does. got that right? Might be just like this. Uptime spot. Like, he always leaves the center, like one side of the center open so you can get uptime. You're fucking blind, man. Really done this more than I have. I'm gonna hop off and just do the story. What does that give me anyways? Like a third of level. And I got the other thing. I do not want to be running into those. I want to get to at least the point where they're all like, okay, go level up. Try to avoid these guys' eyesight. Oh, did not see that last one. This thing, right? That's a bit off. I can make it. I can make it. But, should focus on the story. Not even the Ravages of Time can dim the allure of Nimian ingenuity. Of course, the name of my time was not so unconcerned with gravity. This strange floating aspect was not an inherent feature of the city, though having examined the confluence, the underlying phenomenon is clear. Excess wind energies have weakened the bonds between building and ground, creating the landscape you see before you. Intriguingly, this result seems somehow intentional, but that hardly aligns with the goal of accurately preserving the 5th Astral Era history. Alas, there's not much else to glean from this confluence. Let us seek out other ruins. I mean, if it's on my way, I might hit it. If I have time, it's only like 2 minutes left, which is doable, but trying to dodge shit, you know, can't just drag in a bunch of stuff that's gonna be hitting me. Okay, the last one wasn't too bad because it was fucking a carbuncle, but I'll go in here and probably get my ass whooped. Also don't know where it is. Surely I still have time. This guy's suspender. That is a cool mount though. Surely I could get gold by myself. God, I don't know what this does. I guess I want to be away from that thing. See what happened there, though. Blade wide, of course. I'm guessing. Good thing I'm not acid this game. Alright, this is just meteors. 21 minutes until the boss comes back. The boss is back here. Small for one. 40%. Go that far. I'm not really paying attention, but I'm guessing he's bouncing them off, the little guys. Oh, I didn't see that. Very wide. Oh yeah, I should worry about if I'm gonna get fucking bored. Guessing I did. What did I get? Oh, that was just like, oh shit, I need to collect. So, 3 areas. Level are these guys? How could I'd probably take these guys. 3 more fights and all. Oh, 1 more fight should get me to 21. This bugs me right here. It's probably like another the hidden room. Yep, there it is. I don't know what the thing on top of their head does. Is that a like weekly thing? Logs. These are weekly, right? Yeah. It's a cool little area. This thing's probably like level 40. I know. I most likely can't kill it though. I want to see what spawns here. Oh, pumpkin patch. Spooky area. I'm loving the vibes. And you got a little seed guys. Has little like tomatoes. This place looks great, man. Gotta be careful, you know. Don't wanna fucking fight these things. This sprawling structure bears all the hallmarks of Skallic craftsmanship, with my eyes drawn to the extensive flooding. A surfeit of water aspected ether appears to have disrupted the area's natural balance. One of the crew told me that the ancient city of Scala now lies at the bottom of a loch. Sure does. Though I state the obvious, 'twas not always so. The city's submerged state is the result of a calamitous flood, not some architectural quirk. You sure they weren't just like freaky with it? In other words, if one sought a faithful reproduction of Skallic civilization as it stood in the 5th Astral Era, Replicating the subsequent flood would be completely anachronistic. Well, at least we have further evidence of ethereal abnormalities. Onward to the next ruin. He probably watched like a YouTube short of the history and just preserved it wrong. What is this? 29, 28. Oh god, these things would probably obliterate me. I might be able to take one, but it'll be slow, it'll be boring, and I will not benefit much. Oh, that thing would obliterate me. I should not be doing this, but I'd like getting the map out of the way. Oh shit, that looks cool. It's a cool little shelter. Alright, these are the ones that will help me if I get in a fight. These things are a little lower level. I don't know what was the right way to go about these. Might have wanted me to go like... Can I get in here? Unlock. Crescent Belladonna. I probably wouldn't be able to get to gold. 50% down, and I'm just like barely Phantom level 20. I mean, hopefully the Phantom Mastery carries me a little bit. I'm liking the vibes. Maybe it'll look different when it's just clear skies. I'm not sure if it's... Yeah, it's nighttime. Materia that I have no use for. What is this? Crescent Rock. Very creative name. of this teleport and then head inside here. Oh man, this looks like that one dungeon, I forget what the name. But I always like the vibes, so I'm loving this. These things would obliterate me. There's gotta be a safer way. I like his little pitter patters. Something tells me we ought to not linger here. Thankfully I was able to examine several arterial flows en route. Something has sapped the area's earth aspected energies, leading to a decline in the purifying potential of the soil and a veritable mold invasion. Now I understand that the velocity of Andapor is likewise riddled with rot. Yet I find it difficult to believe those moldering forces could sweep as far as here. Not only is the North Horn isolated from the rest of the Isle, the Cold Crescent itself is miles away from the nearest port. Besides, if those foul spores had somehow spread here, I would expect the entire region to be infested. At least we are beginning to glimpse the sheer extent of the environmental decay. It is fortunate that nearby arterial currents were still somewhat detectable. On that note, I suggest we take our leave of these trees before we ourselves sprout moldy growths, more ruins. Oh wait. So... from this we could guess that the person behind all this is keeping... we assumed he was trying to maintain the culture, but he's just like maintaining the ruins. Which, like, why would you do that instead of just like maintaining the thing at its peak? I'm gonna look at a map because I don't want to make this trip again. There's like a tunnel there. Not about to get seen by that thing. I can teleport and then how do I get there? They're about equal. I think this one's closer. This is a fun model. I don't know what skeleton that uses. Crescent, Rhicophilus. Is that a real thing? Bicephalus? Fishman. I wonder if there's anywhere online that has a list of like all the models and skeletons. Just really fun to look at, you know. Crescent Hellhound. Geshen Pest. I want to get this first, just in case. Unhallowed Hamlet. I don't think this is the right spot. Cleaver Demon. Probably make it. Alright, last place. On this occasion, I scarcely need to examine the confluence. It's all too clear. The vicinity is being subsumed by the void. That was his tail just like spazzing out. In ancient Mach, mages would infuse their ceremonial chambers with astral aspected ether to Let's do that again. In ancient Mach, mages would infuse their ceremonial chambers with astral aspected ether to facilitate their summoning arts. But that's not to imply the city was overrun with summoned void sent. If this settlement lies in such a state, it could only mean one thing. Well, I've now seen enough to support my hypothesis, and I imagine Kettenram will wish to hear of it too. Let us return to the camp post-haste. You'll take me with you, right? Alright. Varsity jacket. It's probably worth nothing now. I got most of the map. The other stuff will probably be taken care of by like just exploring. I mean, he could take anything on with his knife. Phew, that was quite the journey. I'm not sure I'd have made it without you. You made it without me. I teleported here. Now all the ruins we saw exhibited ethereal abnormalities. The Nimian remains now float skyward due to excess wind energies, and the Skalic structure was inundated with water, while the Pori and the Machi remnants are beset by earth and astral aspected imbalances. Respectively. Sorry. I also sense that the area surrounding the camp has been parched dry by an excess of fire aspected ether. In short, the ethereal balance of the North Horn has completely collapsed. I believe the architect used the region to model the impact of such drastic ethereal changes. The ruins here met a similar fate to the Eurasian counterparts. Some repetitive wounds inflicted by the War of the Magi. Were they all from the War of the Magi? I think this is more like broad. I know like I think Skalic and Maki were part of the War of Magi. To what end the architect conducted this experiment, I do not know. But these conditions stem from excessive use of ether in accordance with each civilization's unique history. Go. Perhaps disrupting fucking pirate speak always gets me. Perhaps disrupting the flows of the flow of ether to the Tower of Magic was part of his plan then. Not that I have the foggiest idea why he'd want to. Nor have I. To jeopardize precious remnants of the 5th Astral Era in this way contradicts the Isle's very purpose. Regardless, if your theory is correct, I'm afraid we'll have a difficult time tracking down the Tower of Ethereal Flow, though the fact of the pavilion exists at all ought to provide some encouragement. Are you suggesting there might be an ethereal node and means of activating it after all? I love a good mystery as much as the next fellow, but we're practically drowning in the bleeding things. Any road, before we get to solving them, before I get to solving them, before you get to solving it and I sit on my ass. That does it. I reckon we ought to take stock of what we've gleaned so far. Sorry. Nothing to add. Maybe sometimes it's all they need to say. During my century spanning slumber. What indeed? Pondering another problem. I ordered the crew to continue investigating ethereal currents in the city area. While they're roaming around, I thought we might consider the mystery from a fresh angle. We've established that the Occult Crescent is a museum of sorts for the 5th Astral Era, right? But here on the North Warren, these relics and ruins were deliberately meddled with, seemingly in the name of replicating later calamities. Why so? Fortunately for us, there's someone right here who ought to know. To me, because I'm so smart. No, of course it's the fairy. Iris, why don't you tell us a little about your master? As previously stated, I'm here to observe, nothing more. Heh, how about revisiting a conversation we've already had then? You wouldn't begrudge me that, would you? When we first met, I asked the archive whether he summoned you. Do you remember that? You were adamant the wizened little wretch hadn't. Were you speaking truthfully? Indeed, that much was true. That much, In that case, it's fair to assume Iris' master is the ultimate source of wisdom on the Owl, the architect. Now my understanding is the summoner and their familiar are usually bound by an ethereal flow. Do you reckon we can leverage that to reach the tower somehow? I'm gonna be nice to the Lady Fairy and not try to poke around her. Suppose she isn't. Came across a fair few familiars while roaming down south, none of them particularly pleasant mind. I'm sure the North Warren has its own fair share of summoned creatures. Expecting the ether of any one of them could further our investigation. I might add that the denser their ether, the more information we stand to glean. Of course, such familiars tend to be rather more formidable. Come to think of it, when I passed through the forest during our previous excursions, I spotted a large winged creature with a crest of green feathers. Perhaps you could seek them out. I'm guessing he means the wooded area north of the lake. Either way, sounds like a job for a resident fiend feller. Make sure you hack off a chunk of them for us to examine, you hear? Leave it to me. Which kind of ram speaks can be obtained from specific critical encounters in the forest to the north of the lake. I don't need to read this. Learn to participate in critical encounters. Lost in the wind and... I think I'll call it there, and because my mouse is being very jank and I don't want to be doing fights while I'm dying. But yeah, we basically got into the part where I could freely explore. Just need to like actually do things. I don't know if I'll stream like all of this, but I'll do bits and pieces. I guess I could get that item, and if the critical encounter happens while I'm at it, I'll do it. We'll figure that out later. What is this? 27? I could probably take it. Not without effort, but shouldn't be too much hassle. What are these called? Rave. Truva. I think that was the right thing. Oh. I thought it was just like a search thing, but I guess this is where the critical encounter is, so I'll just call it there. I pretty much have everything I need now to just start farming. Try to fix that. Try to fix the audio too, because got my headphones in and combat audio is a little bit sharp. So try to fix everything up. Next time I'll probably be able to farm a bit better. Could have just exited through the menu, but I'll just leave through here. I wonder how everyone else... Oh yeah, they left to a different server. But yeah, I'm kind of enjoying playing again. I miss raiding, but this is very nice and kind of chill. I don't know how consistent I'll be with streams, but I'll do it when I do them. What's this side looking like? Which one's that? Holy shit, this guy. Guess it has been like about a week, but oh god, I still have this ugly. Gotta be naked. It looks alright. I'm not like a huge fan of how they use the two colors of the Reaper, the blue and the red. It's okay. Something about this kind of glow effect doesn't really do it for me. I don't know. It's like surrounding the weapon, where I prefer the like the weapons emanating it. But yeah, that's it. I'm heading out. Laters.